the pork side.
Hi there, Machedo Sweeney from Machedo.com. Who's Machedo and Think Personal Branding? The date is 23rd April 2018. Time right now is 5:50 in the evening. All right, I got this email from a gentleman in Dubai who works in a rather kind of good position. So this guy asked me, like, could you give me a few tips to get a better paying job in Dubai, UAE? Now, I don't want to read out his entire email, but I just want to focus on how to get a better paying job in Dubai, UAE. Now, let's keep one thing in mind. Let's keep aside the racism factor that there is, that corporate life is unfair, that they prefer to give white skin or Western passport holders a much better salary, or let's say an Arab local more preference or more rights than a nation. Let's keep all that aside and let me just focus on the bare bones minimum. Okay, so there are 23 points and I'll quickly move on to the points. So let's start. Point number one. Okay, in order to get, let's say, a better paying job in Dubai, UAE, or in the Middle East. The first one is hunt for a job. Okay, look out for a job when you have a job, not when you don't have a job. See, most of the people, what they tend to do is they start looking out for a job when they lose their job, or when they are going to be given a termination notice, or when they feel like, oh no, I don't have a job right now. Don't do that. The problem is when you start hunting around for a job and you don't have a job at the moment, the guy who's taking your interview knows for a fact that you need a job much more than he needs an employee. Okay, so they would play around. They would tell you, okay, come for the second interview after 1 week, after 2 weeks. They are just playing around to make sure that your kind of visa gets expired, and then out of desperation, you would say, okay, fine, I'll accept anything. So the best time to look out for a job is when you already have a stable job. So if you are working in a company, my advice to you is, let's say, for example, you have a 2-year contract or a 3-year contract. After the first year is when you should be looking out aggressively for a job, for another job. So what happens is, it normally takes roughly 6 months to a year to really get a worthwhile job. It's like, getting a marriage partner. You can't just find someone oh, there she is, It's a lot of hard work in terms of searching. It's a lot of luck that comes into play. And keep this in mind, searching for a job is also another job in itself. Okay, so the first one is hunt for a job when you already have another job. The second one, which I tell almost all my clients who come to me for advice, is please do not be desperate. There is this tendency with Asians where they say, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, please, sir, please. Sir. I sometimes don't know, why the fuck do you call someone sir? Yes, sir, no, sir. Who the fuck is he, man? I mean, is he superior to you? Just because he has some extra money, he's like, sir. Fine, if he's the president of the United States, you want to give him respect. He's a ruler, I can understand. He's a billionaire and he's really going to do a lot of favors. Then you can call him sir, sir, yes sir, nod your head. Mostly only Indians do this. Pakistanis, Asians, Bangladeshis, Filipinos, yes sir, they go meek. You'd never see a Westerner, you never see an American calling an Indian guy, yes sir, no sir, nodding his head. So please stop it. Don't be fucking desperate. Don't say yes to everything, and be in a position where if you are offered a contract and you don't feel it is doing justice to you, have the courage to say, just tell him in a very polite way. That is, if you're interested in the job, this is what I can suggest, or this is what I can propose, or this is what I can offer. Or if you feel the job offer is ridiculously low, just tell them, I'm sorry, this is not what I was looking for. So put it across as a person who is equal to them. Don't bow your head as a slave, because if they feel you're desperate, then they will just walk all over you. So be prepared to say no. That's point number 2. Point number 3 is, if you're looking out for a job, a really good job, please do not go through these websites like Facebook groups. You have this Nadia's, BAC, BBB, Manpower, Lobo, all these. Because I was in Dubai, UAE for 40 plus years, I've seen these ads over and over again. Let me give you a news flash. Most of the ads that they put up is fake. Most of them don't exist. Most of them they look from other agencies because they just want to have a database of all the resumes and all the CVs, okay? And when they go and meet, let's say a potential CEO or they meet an HR manager, they take this huge bunch of CVs, they censor, remove the names, because end of the day, they are a business, okay? They are a business, they want to make some money. So that's why they show the employer these CVs. Now, the funny thing is, the people who made these CVs, they're bullshitting. The guys who are taking the CVs, they are overhyping it. Most of them are not in touch with most of the clients here. And they get paid only if the employer says, yes, I want these people. And given today's social media world and the internet, the same CV that was given to these guys, the same CV would be given to them. How I know this? Because I closely work with many owners, many employers, and they don't trust these agencies. And these agencies are desperate to get some clients so they can get paid 1 or 2 months or 3 months salaries. So please don't go through the normal channels. Most of them, they just fake it. And many of these vacancies don't exist. Okay, they really don't exist. And it's only when they're talking of very specialized, very, very specialized position. Let's say they're looking out for someone to work in the nuclear reactor and he has to have specializations in one particular software. Then, that is where these agencies prove to be very useful, because a guy who can work in a nuclear reactor or who can work, let's say, is hardcore into cybercrime or into hacking, he's not going to go through the normal channels. Okay, so he would go through these specialized agencies. But if you are looking for something, let's say, in terms of your work, don't go through these agencies. Go through some other possible network or some other channel. Okay, that's point number 3. Point number 4 is, if you want to get a higher paying job, your best friend, mind you, is your boss or your boss's boss, or, within the structure, not the owner, not the CEO, but below them, all the other guys, the ones above you, they are your best friends. So if your relationship with your boss is fuck all or it's really bad, then your chances of, getting any opportunity within the company or outside is pretty bad. Keep this in mind. The reason why he is your boss or your boss's boss is because he knows much more. He's much better than you. That's a fact. You might think he doesn't know much more than you. You might think, oh, I'm much better than him. Why is he getting the promotion? The fact is, he's your boss because he's better. Just let's accept that. So if you're really good friends with him, and if he really cares about you, and you have that kind of relationship, if there's a vacancy, which they most probably would know, he would, initiate a conversation with you, or he would at least tell you, I feel there's an opportunity elsewhere. And this has happened to me because I was always good to my bosses. They always told me when there was an opportunity outside. Because, sometimes maybe you're not the right fit for the organization, or maybe there is an opportunity where you can earn much more. They will guide you towards it. Okay. Point number 5. I think it's very important that people analyze the corporate culture, because most of the people, they have this one-dimensional, like a horse, you put these blinkers and you look straight. They only check the salary, they only check the total package. That's not it. There are many other factors that come into play. I get so many guys sending me emails stating, this company, they treat you like shit, they make you work extra hours, they don't respect you, they look down on you, or, there are so many things. So study the corporate culture. How you can do this is you can maybe have somebody else go and visit the company premises or check their products and services, see how the employees behave. Like when I was working for Citibank had a different culture, ABN AMRO had a different culture, Stanchart had a different culture, HSBC had a different culture. I used to go as a customer to each of these outlets, different banks. And I used to interact with the staff. That would give me an idea how these people behave. Like Citibank those days, we are talking of nearly 20 years ago, it was very, very casual, very Hindi, because most of the salespeople were most of them were ladies, housewives who are working in the credit card and in the loan section. So they were very Indianish. ABN AMRO was kind of stuck up those days. Stan Chart was aggressive in terms of sales, but then that connection was not there. HSBC, I felt, was very local, focusing more on Arab locals, Emiratization. So, and like Emirates NBD, it had more of oldies, like the senior people. So each company had a different culture. So you need to find out the company that you're applying for or your current company, what is the culture, study that and match it with your personality to see if it works. Okay. Point number 6 is study the corporate structure. Now, what do I mean by structure? Let's say in the company that I worked before, there was the managing director, and below him, everyone else came, the managers and the engineers, and it was more like a 2-level. And even though below the managers, there were other salespeople and there were engineers, but everyone would report directly to him. So it was just the managing director and everyone else below. So obviously, if I was looking for a promotion, I could get maybe a managerial role. But then again, we would be reporting straight away to the boss. So, it would not be like after the manager, there was another one and then the rest. However, thanks to, let's say, the closeness that I have with him, he made himself the boss. Below him came me. Below me came all the other guys. So that was kind of nice. Okay. So you need to find out the corporate structure. Is there a position which you can climb? Let's say, for instance, you're the assistant sales manager, and above you is a sales manager, and above that is a sales director. Now, what is a hierarchy? Your next move would be from assistant sales manager to sales manager. But if in case the sales manager does not move, or he wants to be in that position for the rest of his life, now there are only 2 possibilities. Either they'll create another sales manager, so you'll be sales manager one region, you will be, the other guy's sales manager other region. But if in case they say, no, we can't create that, then, there is no way for you to move higher. Maybe you'll get a few dollars extra. So understand the corporate, the company structure. If there is no vacancy, there's no way for you to move up, then I think you must look out into another organization. Then point number 7, the corporate policy. There are many companies that have this policy whereby they give you a bonus end of the year, or some of them give you a salary increment, but annually. They don't give you like every 6 months or 3 months. Some of them do not give you commissions until maybe after 6 months, or they delay. So find out what is the corporate policy, because I think many people don't check what is the company policy. Let's say, for example, when you joined in, you read the terms and conditions. I think people normally do not look at, when they resign, what are the terms and conditions. Many a times when you resign, many companies behave very funny. Some of them make your life miserable. There are some companies that give you 2 months or 3 months salary, but then there are these other companies where the HR person, he can play dirty games and he can really ruin your life. If you're lucky, you'll get a company like, I know some companies like even ABB or Schneider, where the manager kind of informed the employee and said, fine, things are not working out, you need to resign. And the person, requested, please, because he worked in the company for many, many years, he said, please give me at least 2-3 months. So they said, take your time, take 3 months. In fact, instead of 3 months, they gave them up to 8 months. Okay, 8 months, they just allowed that person to have the visa until the person was able to get another job. So what I think is, you need to read the fine print, or you need to figure out from other people what is the company policy on various other matters. Because if you're looking to climb up or get a higher position, I think these fine prints, these things which nobody talks about, that really matters. Point number 8 is the game of politics. It's not the person who works the hardest that is the person who succeeds, but rather who plays the game of politics. And that is one of the reasons why in many companies, even though your boss may not be as good as you, as smart as you, as intelligent as you, the reason he's there most probably could be because of politics. He knows how to play the game well. And in the corporate world, it's not your ability to work hard like a donkey or just bring in more revenue. It is a person who knows how to play the right cards with the right people. So keep in mind the game of politics. Point number 9, I think this one most people don't do. You need to, if you are, let's say, let's assume you're a human being walking on the road, you have a view that is from where you're standing up to, your head. That's your view. But if in case you could fly like an eagle, let's say you'd go right up, maybe, 20, 30 feet higher, you'd be able to see a bird's eye view, and you'd be able to know, oh, if I move ahead, that is where I'll go. If I move this side, this is where I'll go. Or if I want to move in this particular direction, I can take this shortcut. So sometimes you need to have a bird's eye view of where you're going. Now, once you happen to get the bird's eye view, I think it's very important to have these targets, which people don't have. So with bird's eye view, you need to have a target and you need to have a time bound. So same thing. Let's say bird's eye view, you can see from point A to point B. So give yourself a duration. Let's say you want to move from being a salesperson, from a sales executive to a sales manager. Give yourself a deadline. In 3 years, I'm going to get the position. If you don't get the position, what is plan B? What is plan C? Many people, they continue working in the same company and say, okay, I was promised to be given a promotion, after 2 years. It didn't happen. And people continue in the same organization. I think you need to have a deadline. Just like when you're having a marriage. Think about a marriage. When you have a marriage, you plan out, let's say January, you plan out December. December, I'm going to get married. So from December onwards, you plan backwards. So you book the venue, you book the DJ, you book the caterers, you book the printers, you confirm the dress, you sit down with the family and do the briefing, you have the MC. So there are so many things that go into a marriage, and you're sure that, okay, by December, say 20th, I will get married, because after that it'll be Christmas and the venues will be booked. So you make the planning, you plan so much. You need to do the same thing where your career is concerned. So that's a bird's eye view. Taking a full timeline and asking yourself, what is the amount of money that I need? How much time do I need? And what is the effort that I need? You need to really be serious if you're talking about getting a higher paying job, because if you operate it in this way, then you'll succeed. Point number 10, okay, is the investment. Now, by investment, I'm just not talking about, let's say, for example, you want to get promoted. I met this guy. He happened to get, from, I don't know if you know this company. It's Khatib Alami. It is a consulting firm. This guy was working for this company, and he was getting something around 18 or 20,000 in and around that range. He happened to get an Australian company that offered him 4 times the salary what he was getting. So from, imagine, 20,000, 18,000, he got nearly 60, 65,000. That was massive. And you're talking of during the construction boom. And this guy, where he used to wear a simple office shirt and simple trousers, simple, very, very simple. After he got the promotion, when he came and we just have to meet in this Toastmasters club, he came wearing like an amazing, it looked like an Armani suit, and he wore a gold encrusted watch, and he had rings, and he had an expensive tie and cufflinks, and I was like, whoa, what the hell happened to you? And he even purchased a 4-wheel drive, okay? So I was like, wow, what in the world happened? And that is where he said, I got a new job, and that is where, I'm meeting with a lot of whites, and, I want to show that I'm, equal to them or at par with them, or, kind of rub shoulders and say way. But here's the thing, a donkey, even if it puts on all the clothes, cannot become a horse. He was trying to be what he is not. He was selected for his work ethic, but he just upgraded himself in terms of clothes and a car. He didn't upgrade himself in terms of communication. He didn't upgrade himself in terms of leadership, in terms of knowledge, in terms of, so you need to invest time, effort, and money, not in a pair of expensive shoes, clothes, tie, makeup, hair. All those are extras. You need to put in not only in terms of education, in terms of training, but in terms of skill level. So, and keep this in mind, you also need to put in a lot of time and sacrifice. If that is not put, you cannot succeed. So that's point number 10. Point number 11 is hard work. And by hard work, I just want you to understand that if you have to succeed in the Middle East, in Dubai, if 8 hours is your contract, the company will make you work for 12 hours. Many guys will focus on working 13 hours or 14 hours just to impress the boss. And then there are these mad animals who are obsessed with winning. They will work like the whole day. They will not go home. They will not see their wives. They will not see their children. In fact, I happened to meet this guy of Jurassic Technologies. The company, I don't know, is it closed down? He was the owner. The guy I'm talking about, I was with him. He gave me a really big contract. And for the 1 week that we worked on an exhibition, he paid me like $5,000 per day. That was big fucking money, okay? Just to wear a shirt and just to talk about the brand. The guy, I'm not even joking, he would get up at 4 in the morning and you'd see him answering emails and all that. And that was crazy because, when I'd get his emails, it was like 4 in the morning. I was like, what the hell, is he not sleeping? And then he would start networking at 8. We are talking of these Distry. Yeah, Distry was the exhibition conference. And he would start meeting, and there would be every hour there would be a meeting. There would be a meeting with suppliers, vendors, business people. And this went on, and after that would be a break. During lunch break also you'd meet people. Tea break also you'd meet people. So throughout the day, just, 3-3 hour slots. And at 9, they would go get fresh and come back for the late night to meet people in discotheques, all that. And, the business focus was like obsessed. It was so crazy. He would finish his day at around maybe 12 or 1 in the night. And then once again, 4:30 in the morning. So the reason why he became a millionaire or he became rich is because he was obsessed. So I really asked him this question. I asked him, do you ever sleep? And, he just looked at me and laughed. And then he said, Loy, I have not seen my wife and I have not spoken to my kids for the last, I think, he said 6 months, 8 months or 2 years. I don't know. He gave me a long duration. I don't want to give you the wrong information here. So he said, 4 months. Sorry, 4 months. 4 months I have not seen. And the funny thing, they stay in the same house. Because what he told me is when they sleep, I wake up. And when I go to sleep, it's like weird hours. And then sometimes I go to China, sometimes I go to Hong Kong, and I'm going to India. So that is the amount of crazy. And that's why he achieved millions. So if you want to succeed, you need to work hard. And by hard work, I'm talking of madness, absolute madness. Okay, point number 12 is you need to constantly market yourself. If you're not shameless, and I'm talking a hardcore, like in your face, you need to be everywhere. There are some people in the office, if you see, you just notice them like, oh, there he is. Oh, there she is. Oh, she's wearing this dress. Oh, she's showing that. These are the people who are very aggressive in marketing and getting themselves noticed. You need to be that kind of a person. Point number 13 is, like I told you, you need to be obsessed. That has to be the only goal, the core in life. This guy, Lulu Yusuf Ali, he is filthy rich. He is a billionaire. Do you think he became rich by having a balanced life and saying, work for 8 to 1, 4 to 7, and after that switch off, I'll watch cricket, I'll go to the temple, I'll go to the mosque and pray and I'll be with my friends. No, he was obsessed about his brand, Lulu. He wanted to make it number one. He wanted to make it big and just, he just focused on it like nobody else's business. So if you're obsessed, if your obsession is your work, your love, your capacity to make money, only then you'll succeed. But if it's a hobby, no, you're not going to succeed. Point number 14 is the spirit of competitiveness. And by competition, I do not mean others in other industries. I'm talking of your colleagues. I tell people your biggest enemy is the guy who sits next to you, the guy who's in the same position as you. Because all those people are competing and trying to battle it out for the next position. If you want proof of this, let's say, for example, you're getting $10,000. And the next position, the position higher than you, would be getting $20,000. Do you think any one of your colleagues would say, nah, take my colleague, let him get the promotion. So we all work for 8 hours a day. Let him get double the salary, let me get less. No, because you are working for you, for your family, for your capacity to earn money. So remember this, your biggest enemy is your colleague. You need to be hyper competitive. Do whatever it takes to move to the top. Point number 15. Yes, 15. This one, I don't know how many people follow, but the ones who do follow are the ones who succeed. You need to get yourself a mentor. Now, I'm not just talking about me. Go get yourself a mentor. Your boss can be your mentor. When I used to work for companies, I used to always ask the CEO or the director of the company to be my mentor. And I'll tell you this, it's a life-changing experience if you get, some of those people who think differently. You'll be shocked and surprised to know that the way they think, the way they make decisions, it's an MBA from Harvard. So go get yourself a mentor, and if you have, if you can get the CEO of your company, that's the best thing in the world. If you can't get that, then get someone of the industry who's an expert, maybe earning like 2 to 3 times your position, your salary, or get a paid professional like myself. There might be someone else, go get him. Otherwise, just as if a guy wants to learn Olympics, let's say as a world-class boxer or a fighter or let's say actor, they all have mentors. You need to have a mentor, others you just cannot succeed and survive. Okay? Point number 16 is you must change what is up here, your mentality. Many, especially these low-class people who are earning low-class salaries, they always say, sir, please, sir, I want free, sir, free. I don't have any money, sir, please, sir. You cannot succeed if you have such a cheap shit fuck-all mentality, man. You need to grow up. That is why when I wanted to succeed, I knew that I had to change my mentality. So that's why I broke off a relationship with all my family members, with all the retarded friends and relatives, everyone. I broke off with them and I said, I'm going to surround myself with greatness. I'm going to surround myself with great minds. So that's what changed my mentality completely. And that is why today I prefer to live a life of solitude, away from people, only speaking to my mentors and my clients. So it's very important for you to change your mentality. Point number 17 is communication. By communication, I don't just mean your ability to give a great speech. I would say communication is a leadership lexicon that you have, your vocabulary, not just flashy words, but the corporate jargon, and your ability to use this both as a written communicator and as a spoken communicator. As a person who speaks. So your writing skills and your communication, verbal skills have to be totally world class. For that, you need to practice. Without that, it doesn't help. Point number 18 is you have to be a world class hustler. And what do I mean by hustler? Every time, every moment, every minute, every second, you have to sell. Sell yourself, sell your services, tell people how great you are, remind them again, let them know, how badly they need you, let them know what are your achievements. In everything, whether you give a suggestion or whether you're talking to someone, you have to keep being a hustler. Okay? Point number 19, keep yourself ready. By ready, what do I mean? Have your resume absolutely ready, decked up. Your resume should be ready. Your interview skills should be world class. And please, if you think that your interview skills are great, let me tell you, it's fuck all, because whomsoever I've taken an interview test, and I've done this so many times, all of them have failed. Remember, an interview skill is not talking. An interview skill is hardcore hustling, where you have to script it down word for word what you're going to say and memorize it. Your 30 seconds pitch, your 1 minute pitch, 3 minute pitch, 7 minute speech, 15 minute, complete data about yourself. You need to have. It has to be written down word for word, okay? And last, the third part of being ready is not just the interview, but how you communicate. How? Remember this. It's how you say, not what you say. Point number 20 is your capacity to take risks. With risk comes reward. If you are, warming your ass in a seat in a company where you have stayed for more than 3 years, you're not going to progress further. You need to take risks. You need to keep trying something new every single time. That's the only way you're going to move forward. Point number 21 is being intuitive in nature. By intuitiveness, it's being able to future forecast what is going to happen, even though you may not be necessarily right. It's not just stocks. It's about leadership. Like Sheikh Mohammed, why does he think so far ahead? Why does he plan out, okay, we're going to have artificial intelligence. We're going to have the police. It's going to be like a RoboCop kind of a future. Why do they plan projects 5 years or 10 years in advance? Why do they change policies? Because they're looking so far ahead in time. You need to do the same thing. Why do you think I left Dubai, UAE, before the VAT came into implementation? Why do you think, I made all these decisions, from tattooing my face to everything else? Because I was looking far ahead of time. I was asking myself, if I do this, this is what is going to happen. Why did I buy these books? Why did I invest $500,000 into seminars, courses? Because I kept looking far ahead of time. Okay, so like even my website, even my web-based presence was 11 years ago. 11 years ago. Just think about it. Okay, so you need to be intuitive, have foresight of what's going to happen in the next 5 years to 10 years. Agreed. You and I don't know what's going to happen. We're never sure, but if you don't start preparing, it's like marriage. You know, you don't know if you're going to get divorced, but you still want to plan out your marriage, and that is going to be after 1 year. So it's like your children. You do not know if when your kid becomes 23 and you become 60, your kid will take care of you, but you still plan out his education. So in the same way, you need to plan out your career as well. Okay, point number 22 is this one people don't do, but ask yourself tough questions. Tough questions like, what if I fail in my career? What if they don't give me a promotion? What if I have to resign? I think this is something people don't like to do because they always like to think positive. I experienced this when the company I was working for, Genius Group, I had a fallout with the owner who was doing illegal stuff. And, and those days we were close. He asked me this question, which should have rung my bell. He said, what if you lose your job? What if, I cancel your visa? What if you don't have anything, you don't have any money, I ban you and send you off to India? I, like an idiot, said, I don't care, I'll still come back to Dubai. And, deja vu, he cancelled my visa, he gave me a ban, he tried to destroy my life. And that's why, if you check the videos, 2011, it's 2011, I tried to commit suicide. It really, really fucked my happiness. So today, I ask myself tough questions. You see, my wife is pregnant. I keep asking myself, what if the baby had to be aborted? What if the kid had to, we lost the kid? What if my wife divorces me? What if I die? I keep reminding her this. The reason being is you need to mentally prepare yourself for the worst, and that's how you can progress. And last, if not the least, now this one, you may not like it, but keep this in mind. Either you have it or you don't. Okay, either you will succeed in life or you will not succeed. Either you will become rich or you'll not become rich. And how you can find this is through patterns. So look back on your life and ask yourself, let's say, for example, your age is 40. Have a look at the snapshot of your life. Just see, how did you progress? How did you succeed every year? Did you succeed every 2 years? Did you keep getting an increment? Were you competitive? What were your drawbacks? Why did you lose a particular job? How many times did people backstab you? Study your patterns, because if you study your patterns, there will be a kind of a sequence that will keep repeating itself. In my case, I was, I never fit into a corporate organization. I was always a show-off, always was a troublemaker, always liked to break rules, always was impulsive. The funny thing is, all this kind of, repeated itself over and over again. And I realized if I didn't do something drastic, my life would be the same. And that is where I said, okay, I cannot succeed in the corporate world. This is what I need to do. And I took the decision. So either you have it or you don't. See, end of the day, keep this much in mind. Even if there is racism, even if things are fair, unfair, end of the day, you are in the Middle East just to make money. They're not going to give you citizenship. They don't care about you. They will keep you as long as you are useful. The day you're useful, they're going to tell you, Yalla Habibi, goodbye, thank you very much, bye-bye. You've been good. Here is, your certificate of appreciation, a piece of paper. They'll print out something, you can frame it, and then you're back unemployed, back to your country from where you came from. That's the reality. So your bottom line is make fucking money, make as much money as you can, make your money, have a good life, plan far ahead, and be safe. Because end of the day, you don't have any fucking money. Nobody's going to care a fuck about you. So, Machedo.com, who's Lloyd Machedo in Think Personal Branding. If you found this video to be of any value, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't find it, give it a thumbs down. Put your comments and questions if you have. And if you'd like to get in touch with me or take my professional service, the details are put down below. So this is me saying goodbye for now. Lloyd Machedo signing off.